Okay, let's take a look at this here piece. This piece here, we're gonna do a portrait piece. Um, it's gonna we're gonna utilize. Let me take my face out the picture. We're gonna utilize this reference here. This is the this is the color schema I'm gonna use for this particular piece. Um, has a lot of skin tones in it, so I'm gonna try to get it as close to the natural skin color as I possibly can. And this is gonna be like use these colors more, I think, in the composition. So we'll see what we can come up with. I haven't really solidified the composition for it yet, but we'll see what we can come up with. And this here is the racial that we'll be using. This is what we're going to capture. This is right in here, all this here, right in here. We're not going to capture any more than that. Okay, and so then this is the grayscale that I created, so I can see the forms come out relatively nicely. And then where is the actual piece? Okay. Here's the piece with the actual colors in it. Okay, so for layout, put this up here and this here, these two here. So I want these in here for the layout. So I'll make sure I get this solidified in here. Okay, so you'll be able to see some of it, some of the reference. I'll be able to see. You won't be able to see it because of the layout here. However, this is what we're getting ready to do. Welcome to Creating Art Over 70 with Cyan Rufus. So before I get started, let me give out. No, let's get started. Okay. That didn't work out, so I'm gonna have to try it differently. I'm gonna start this piece totally over. Same concept, same subject, different paper medium. The canvas pad didn't work out for what I was trying to do. I guess I was biting off a little bit more than I could chew right then. Or too many new things. The surface was new, the brushes was new, the approach was new. Meaning one media. So I'm going to try that again with the one media on the surface that I'm familiar with and see how well it goes this time. Creating Art Over 70 with Cyan Rufus. Gave it incredible amount of effort trying to get that canvas paper to work. However, it was just not doable for me. It didn't have it didn't have the right amount of teeth in the paper to handle the dry media. I really think the canvas is maybe totally for oils, painting, or acrylics and things like that. So I gave it a try, but it didn't work out, and so I decided to continue on and work with something I'm very, very comfortable with. And as you can see here, the flow is a little different. Well, I didn't show the flow inside of when I was working on the canvas pad, because it just didn't seem to be working out. I didn't think I wanted to waste your time seeing what didn't work. I can just let you know that it didn't work for me and continue on with something that works for me. And so, the Pastelmat is incredible paper, and it seems to be really, really compatible with the dry medias. And so I think I'm going to stick with it going forward and just break it down to the selection of colors that I want to use. And once I can identify the selection of colors that I want to use, then I can just continue on the journey and enjoy the process of painting, not discovery so much. With respect to tools, I'm almost to the point where I have the appropriate tools in my workflow that I am comfortable with, and I can produce relatively enjoyable art for me, for my taste, in that I'm still going to experiment, but I'm going to be experiment more with the blending of colors on the piece itself, as opposed to the discovery of new or different types of tools. So anyway, let's continue on painting. Enjoy the journey. And as always, I just start out with trying to lay out the proportion. I'm still adjusting my starting workflow. Sometimes I try to just block in certain things, but I think I'm gonna try to establish more of the shape and the structure, and use some more of the familiar art, or I should say more of the formal art structured approaches, like the Loomis, or blocking out the overall shapes to get my proportions in a little better. So I'm not going to talk a lot more on this particular one, so just enjoy this session of the Jasir Pastel painting here. And as you see here, as I work, what I'm doing here is I am laying in some of the sienna colors. Most of the colors I'm using at this point would be more of the actual skin tone colors. I'm using the siennas. I'm using the burnt siennas for this particular piece because it's a lighter skin as opposed to the raw siennas. But siennas seem to have a nice range of values and tones, and you can blend them to get really good skin complexions in the pieces that you're painting. And so that's what you see going on this piece. I'm just trying to lay it out. And also I'm using a nice set of brushes to put this in. Sometimes I start with the sponge brushes, and depending on the piece that I'm working on, it seems to for me it seems to work better with brushes when I'm doing a portrait. The sponge brushes, when I'm laying out still life, and it really doesn't matter to how close I get to it, because it's a still life during the layout process, and so I can really block in the larger shapes relatively easier because they kind of blend together in still life. But in portraits, you need to sometimes make an adjustment. Even me, for me, I need to make those adjustments early on in the layout process with respect to not total detail, but a hint of where the detail is going to lay. And so for me, the paint brushes are easier to work with. The other day I was watching one of the Renzo Arts pieces, and he was laying out a portrait that he was doing. He was talking about how he chooses the colors for when he's painting a black and white image, and his choice is similar to what I use. He still uses the triad complementary, split complementary approach to color selection. However, he just used the pivot point of those. And for me, I like to lay the garment mask on top of the color wheel so I can actually see a larger range of the tonal value colors that I'll be using in my selection. So Renzno Art over on YouTube, check him out. He's really fascinating in his approach. And he's doing mostly oils, but I'm telling you, you can learn an awful lot from his approach to painting, laying out the structure he used, the planes, all those different things. He talked a lot about painting, and he's a very good artist. Renzno Art. Over on YouTube. So here on YouTube, Renzno Art, Renso Art. Check him out. You'll learn a lot from him, especially if you're beginning. He goes into a lot of detail that I don't, because I'm not trying to teach. I'm just sharing my approach and my style. And so I'm hoping you pick up things that I share, to help you on your journey. But if you're really trying to develop skills to a different level, maybe a career level or something like that, Renzno Art is a good place to start. Also, CreatureArtTeacher.com. Aaron Blaze over at CreatureArtTeacher.com. I can't emphasize enough how much you'll get from these two people with respect to developing your craft. If you're new and you're doing some sort of a career approach also, yeah, they can really solidify your skill set. Aaron Blaze over at CreatureArtTeacher.com. Renzno Art over on Udemy. Check them out. Yeah, understand, this is not paid advertisement. I'm doing all this on this channel. I have no plans to monetize, and so any information that I'm giving, that I share with you with respect to other artists and things out there that I run across, is totally just sharing. Yeah. And if you're gonna be doing your pastels and mostly pencils, Colin Bradley is incredible. He's a gentleman. He has really good styles and techniques to working with pencil pastels to create beautiful artwork. Yeah. Check him out. He's over here on YouTube also, and I think he has a Patreon channel in addition to his YouTube channel. But check him out if you really just want to focus on the pencils, because it is really easier to get started with the pencils. There's a lot of control with the pencils. My thing with the pencils is I was heavy-handed, and pencils is a lot of motion to it, because the range of real estate coverage with a pencil is small in comparison to the range of covering the paper with a paintbrush or a sponge brush or even the soft pastels. So it's a matter of choice. I mean, you can still create incredible amount of art with just the pencils themselves. I see artists I don't remember an artist that does strictly soft pastels, but if you do a search on YouTube, I'm sure you'll find some of if just the soft pastels are your interest. I really think that for me, using a combination works the best. Even though I'm trying to do this piece here in strictly pan pastels, I really like to use a combination of the pastels. The pan pastels and the pencil pastels are the two that I work with the most. the soft pastels I've used in the scenic pieces that I've done or landscape pieces that I've done because I can cover an awful lot of real estate with the soft pastels and then go back in over the top and work with the pencils and the pan to get the more detailed, refined details in the piece that I'm trying to create. So I guess I'm just saying that to say this, take your time and get a good feel for what is comfortable for you and your style, and of course your workflow. So take your time and enjoy the journey. Okay, I think I'm going to stop here for this session. I think we got a lot in after that kind of mishap there with the other paper. This paper, Pastelmat, I'm more familiar with, so it's easier for me to work with it because I know what to expect. And I'm still trying to do the whole piece in just pan pastel, but we'll see how far it goes. I'm so tempted to jump in there with pencils to do some refined detail, but I'm holding back. But so anyway, I'm going to stop here and then we'll pick it up in the next session. Thanks for watching. Creating Art Over 70. Signed, Rufus. Blessing. Painting with a Passion.